think you need to go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, where did she go? She was here with me and now she's gone. Where are you? Where did you go? Are you coming back? Okay, I feel like she's coming back. So here's the deal. Claudia is in the Dominican Republic. She told me that something may happen to her internet. I just didn't expect that it was going to happen this quickly. So this is funny. Well, we are here with wisdom from within, and I'm just going to hope and cross my fingers that she comes back. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to stay here and have a conversation with you. Where are you, Claudia? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to wait. She'll probably come back. So here we are with Wisdom from Within every single Wednesday with the mission to create this deep awareness inside of yourself, awakening the wisdom from within, empowering you to know that you have the answers that you need inside of your soul. You have the answers to here she is. Okay, I'm doing the intro. I'm doing the intro. I'm going to keep going, and we're coming to you. She's back. So okay. So I was saying the purpose of this live stream to really help awaken this wisdom, to awaken the connection, this innate power that we have that we aren't taught is real. We are kind of like, oh, inner wisdom, body wisdom, connection, intuition, that's woo-woo. It's not. It's rooted in science. It is real. It is a thing. It is a form of intelligence. If not, to me, the most reliable form of intelligence that we have to guide us in our life, to make sure that we stay in the right relationships and leave the relationships that are no longer serving us, to take the jobs that we love and to leave the jobs that aren't working for us anymore, to have the children when we're ready, to not have the children because we don't want to start a family, to, even decide on a major that you want to study in college, but your parents have been telling you to do one thing and you want to do another. This is a mission that I have so deeply to awaken this understanding inside of every human on this planet because we need it. And to me, this is about embodied leadership. This is embodied leadership. This is leadership for our children, leadership for our teams, leadership for our students, leadership for ourselves. We need authenticity. We need to connect to our voice. And so today, yay, Claudia, I'm so glad you're here. You're such a bright, beautiful light. Oh my gosh. So I met Claudia through Amber Vilhauer's phenomenal, incredible community. I spoke about that a lot yesterday at my book launch party. Amber was there. She's amazing and has this gift of collecting extraordinary people. And Claudia is one of those people. And Claudia and I had the honor of writing. We were 2 of 12 authors inside of Amber's recent book. And I'll show you right here, Infinite Impact. You should go get it. Stories of Alignment. It's incredibly inspiring, amazing. And this is Claudia's part right here. Yay. And I find her story and her presence and her energy inspiring. And I'm so glad you're here to talk to us about what wisdom from within means to you and share a little bit about your journey. And I want to just say that Claudia is a certified alignment guide and reinvention coach. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, amazing. Yes. I'm just going to pass it over to you to start giving us the goods.
Thank you. And you know what I love about this session? First of all, thank you for having me here and for that lovely introduction. And I love you, girl. And you're an inspiration to me as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love that this might be the one space where I'm going to be interviewed and be totally shaking it.
Absolutely.
Because that's how I feel most of the time.
Right.
But have to kind of, stay steady.
Yep.
So, sorry, can you repeat the
Yeah,
first
it's like, what's the
question?
question? What are we doing? Okay, so we're talking about the wisdom from within. And
Yes.
you, it was very interesting before we came on because I was ready
Yes.
for you to share your alignment story in Amber's book. And we were talking about the power of the wisdom from within.
Yeah.
You said, oh, I have a great story that I think your
do.
listeners would appreciate and learn something. Yeah.
Yes.
Go
So
for it.
listen, this has been a life journey to first discover that I had an inner wisdom, and then like kind of paying attention, but not quite, and then noticing what happened, and then paying attention and noticing again, and then so I'm saying this because for anyone that's sort of feeling hesitant about doing this, it takes a practice. It's a practice. It takes a moment. But my story is that long time ago, I'm an immigrant to the United States, and I had to do my visas, and I had to apply for my green card, and I hired this professional who, on paper, was amazing. However, as we were going through the process, I felt that she was not getting me.
Right.
And this was a lot more than mental, like there was something in me that was like, what are you doing? Or like I would read the work she did, and I would be like, this doesn't sit right, or that doesn't feel right in my body.
Right.
And I have to tell you, but my brain overrode all of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she has the credentials, and she has, and she has the titles, and she has this and that.
Yeah.
And what happened is that my green card got denied.
How long ago was this?
This is back in 2009. Okay. And that sent me into, can you imagine? Like in a crisis, I had to stop working. I had to leave the country. I had to do all of this paperwork super fast so that I could get back on track. But my point with this is that when I got the denial and I was talking again with her, strategizing what we're going to do, that feeling kept showing up of like, this is not your person. This is not your person. And at that point, I was like, okay. I get it.
What were you, I'm curious, in your body, how did you know? What was your body saying? And how could you tell it was even, I want to hear about that.
So how it shows up for me, because now I have noticed that it shows up for me kind of in a similar way in different circumstances.
Right.
It's literally like that, even like the image, but like this sensation in my body of like going up a mountain, of like, or like pushing a boulder.
Wow.
Like it just feels like I am trying to cram or like push my way through a big obstacle that I'm not supposed to move. Like I'm supposed to move myself, move my direction.
Right.
And so it just feels like that sense of, like something, like a big obstacle that I'm trying to just push instead of,
So what's the opposite? Like, when do you know when it's right? When something is right? Is it the complete, is it like light and you want to like dance around and feel like a feather? Because that feels very heavy and that's a really strong message. So I'm curious, like how do you know when something's right?
So there's more, that's an interesting one to notice because there's more manifestations. One is peace. It just feels peaceful.
In your whole body?
In my whole body, like almost like my breathing slows down. It's sort of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this feels comfortable. It feels home, I guess, or like, just peaceful. And the other one, I guess, is that it's almost like there's a synchronicity, sort of like a chakra alignment.
Yeah.
Like it just feels very embodied, as opposed to mental, which is maybe another way of describing it too.
Yeah.
That boulder feels very mental, that pushing.
Yeah.
And the yes feels more peaceful and embodied.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I think that's really important for the people that are listening, because I really, honoring you and having you here to share your story is so important. And the people that are listening, for them to start noticing, because there's a lot of people that are like, I don't even know how to listen to my body. I don't even know what that is, you know? And so to start, you know, giving those examples, I think are really important. So thank you for that. I'm curious about, so your body knew that this was the wrong situation. You got, everything was denied. And then how did you look at that wisdom? Because that was wisdom that your mind decided not to listen to, right? So one could think, oh, that took me down the wrong direction. I should have done this or that. But instead, like, I'm curious, did you do I should have done this? Did you blame yourself? Or did you look at it like, okay, I know better for the next time? Like,
well, it was, there was a bit of, I should have listened to my body, of course, because it's almost like also realizing and in terms of like how you notice these things in your body, it's like sometimes you need that whole process to kind of close to understand how it showed up in your body, right? And so it was like that's what that was. And then, I should have listened to it. And then 3, what do I do now? And so, interestingly enough, this is where I believe in the universe. The universe opens doors. And then I went to other lawyers that people recommended me. And this one person showed up, a friend of a friend. I didn't even know he was a lawyer because we had just like socially hang out. Yeah. And he took my case, and with the same documents, he made a completely different case.
Wow.
Obviously got approved, and I'm a U.S. citizen now. But it took all of that. It took me listening to myself. And actually, this showed up too. When I was working with that other lawyer, whenever I didn't feel that he was getting it, instead of shutting down, I would say it. I would communicate what I was feeling, and then we could work it out. Because I had learned that lesson, that I couldn't shut up.
That is incredibly powerful. That's incredibly powerful, because I feel like a lot of people, and I've done this too in the past, definitely in the past, I'm proud to say that I'm not there anymore in this way or as strongly, to the criticism of ourselves. I should, and stay in that, as opposed to, have our moment. I wish I did. I mean, I even said something like that last night, but I moved through it pretty quickly.
Exactly.
To then learn, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen. Then you listened, and then it was successful. That's so beautiful.
And the whole process was so much nicer because, I was expressing myself.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of it. I'm the expert in my field. They're the experts on making it sound as it needs to sound so that I get approved. But we need to collaborate. And actually, it's interesting because now with the alignment process, like co-creation or collaboration, it is one of my top values in my life.
I love this. I would love to hear about alignment and what that means to you, because Amber and I have talked a lot about it. And she was a guest here on Wisdom from Within a couple weeks ago. We talked a lot about what alignment means, because the word I use is embodiment, and her word is alignment. And they work so beautifully together, and slightly different and so complementary. And I'm really curious to know, as an alignment guide, certified alignment guide, what does that mean to you, and how do you see it helping people?
It's very interesting because in a very personal way, I agree with you. It's like this, it's connecting that inside wisdom, that the alignment session, let me start there. The alignment session helps you to really focus, and like it's almost like a download of this information that you need to know in terms of who you're serving, how you're serving it, why are you serving them, and what are your values, right? And that is, I guide my clients through connecting with that truth within them. But as you're saying, even though it's a truth that is within them, we don't necessarily practice or have the awareness of how that feels on the day-to-day. And what I'm also a life coach, and so I love to invite my clients to continue the alignment journey into coaching, because the type of coaching I do also helps you to embody these things that you're discovering about yourself, right? And so in that way, it's a creation of that consciousness, of that awareness of how is your body communicating with you, things that are feeling light and grounded and peaceful, in my case, versus when I'm pushing up against that big obstacle because mentally I decided that's the way.
I love that. How do you get people to connect to how it's making them feel, to embody that knowing, to that information?
Yeah. So in the coaching, we talk about, the body's the barometer of your truth. And so I do little practices with my clients where they just sit and kind of like create that connection, that practice, which people think that, a lot of us have thought, because me included at some point, that, meditation, connecting with your body is like a whole day affair, or like you have to sit down and be very still and do it in a very certain specific way. When in fact, it can be as simple as taking a few breaths and just being present, so that you've actually, do this scan. What is alive in my body? What am I feeling right now? But then that's sort of like the awakening, or starting to connect with that. And then through the coaching, we go through different, we talk about limiting beliefs. We talk about, how that affects your life. And so through the coaching, we start to unpack and again, connect sometimes how these things are embody your operating system, so to speak. And then how can you move past that through action? And I'll tell you like a quick story. Actually, through my own certification, I came to a session with my coach where we were talking about self-love. And he actually recommended if I could like think about something that would remind me of my commitment to myself, my self-love. And I ended up buying this ring, which is almost like my own commitment ring. And for a very long time, because at the beginning, it took a lot more practice. Now it's a lot more steady, as you said. But at the beginning, this was my embodiment reminder.
I love that.
I would go or like show up to a talk or like show up to a place that I wasn't feeling comfortable. And I would be like totally holding on to this thing and being, you are enough, I love you, you are enough just as you are, sort of like really connecting with my whole being, with that truth. And so sometimes it could also be that we need sort of like a talisman to remind us that we can embody these things for ourselves, because it is about that relationship with literally our bodies and our souls.
Wow. I love that so much, because it reminds me, like, my thing is the power of gesture, right? Taking that energy and creating something tangible with our hands with something that's intangible. But the reality is, it is a gesture. It's not something that we can like hold, but it's something we can practice with.
Yeah.
And it is a vocabulary of gestures that we embody and we can lean on and use to speak and heal all the things. This, though, is like this tangible, truly tangible reminder, something that you can put on your hand, your neck, whatever it is. I just love that so much. I think that's so beautiful that you take it from talking about it to embodying how it makes you feel, to then going to get something physical.
Yeah.
Period.
And then the practice of having that support you and remind you of maybe something you discover on the session, but that then you continue to embody. Yeah.
I love that so much. I'm curious. So I'm just like making sure we're good on time. I
know we're chatty.
No, it's good. We're like perfect. It's great. The title of your chapter is The Lioness Within. And I love that so much. It's so fun. And it definitely intrigues me, being that, the wisdom from within, like you've named almost this energy inside of you. And I'm wondering where that comes from and how does that show up, and how it serves you, if you feel it does.
Yeah, I love this question. And thank you for the opportunity for saying it, because, I think most of us think about lions and lionesses as very big, violent animals. However, what the energy that I connect is the playfulness, the quietness, the sort of like when I think so. It came up because I'm a Reiki practitioner. And when I was doing the Reiki symbols, that was the energy that showed up for me. And so it was more of like this energy of when I have to take care of my pride, or when I have to take care of myself, I can be aggressive. I can be, very territorial. Like all of that is true. But also I am community. I'm about community. I'm about, hanging out, chilling, playing, sort of like these two ends of sort of the stick, that I think can capture that inner world that I feel that has been trying to sort of manifest, or that I have noticed that manifests naturally in me, because I love the chilling out and hanging out with friends and having a meal and just like being like, there's nothing else to do but be.
Absolutely. Do you ever feel pressure? Like, it's funny. I was talking to, well, not so funny. I was talking to somebody just the other day who was kind of struggling with this, like this part of her wanting to just chill and relax. But then there was this other part that reminds me of your sort of bigger personality, where she wants to go out. And it was like a duality that was sort of in conflict, not in peace. How does that live in your body?
So for a long time, they were definitely dualities. They were not in harmony. The beauty of this work, and by the way, I'm an urban designer, urban planner. The last thing I thought I was gonna be was a life coach and an alignment guide. But this is the thing. Those things were very opposite. And I was either fire or water. And so in my temperament, in my, my reaction to things, and what has brought me home and to being able to express all of that in the right way, in the way that feels aligned, is precisely the work that like self-development work, the life coaching and the alignment. And so now it's more about me being able to tap into those energies. And even the concept of the lioness is sort of like reminding me that the lioness cannot be running all day, every day, because she will die.
You're right.
There's no energy for that. And so she also needs the rest, and she needs the play, and she needs the, the pride and the community. And so it's even in that way, I use that lioness within is also reminding me that I need all of these things in my life in order to be in alignment, in my center.
Oh, I love that so much. I think that's so beautiful to hear, that like we can be all the things. We don't have to be one thing, and to give ourselves permission to be the lioness, and to be, the lioness is also quiet and still, right? It's like all the different parts, like you're saying. And I think it's so beautiful to give ourselves the permission to live with all of that.
Yeah, I think the one part that I hadn't given myself permission to more consciously was the roaring part, where I had grown up more on the side of being silent, or like, again, with the story about the lawyer, not speaking my truth, not following that intuition.
Right.
or believing that everyone else had it right, like, trusting other people's expertise.
Absolutely.
Where now, if I have to roar, I roar.
I absolutely, I mean, beyond just saying to the listener, if you want to roar, you roar. It's like what I'm also feeling is this trust. I love the idea of just like trusting all the parts inside of us. So, right, if you want to roar, roar. If you want to sleep, sleep. If you want to eat, eat. Like, if you want to be whatever you want to be, you need to just be it. How do you help your clients give themselves permission in that way? I know that's kind of a big question, but I'm just curious if you have insight around that.
So this is very connected to my vision in terms of my alignment work. Or let's say that going through alignment helped me see that so clearly, even though I had been doing it my whole life, which is that I create safe spaces for people to self-express. And so in that way, you have a microcosm with me. I create a space where you can try that out, and truly have a witness to help you connect with those deeper truths.
Yeah.
And from there, again, as I said, sort of like my ring, then go out into the world and practice and embody it on your own. But truly, you're the one doing the work. Sorry to say. And not sorry, because at the end of the day, we all have to do our work. And I also believe that we all benefit from having somebody to serve as that witness, but also to serve as that accountability partner, and to serve as that guide that is really helping you sort of troubleshoot, but also at the end of the day, it's all about creating those practices that support you, whatever that looks like. And so I also help people kind of go through this process of trying things out and then reflecting on if it was easy, if it achieved what they wanted, how are they feeling about it, so that then they can decide that that sounded like a good idea. Maybe I saw it on a podcast somewhere, but it's not me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that not me comes from the body's wisdom, right? The body telling us that's not me. And how does that show up for your clients, Love? Like, do they say, I feel a pit in my stomach, I'm just too nervous for that, or whatever? Like, what are the sensations or some of those examples that show up that's giving them information?
I mean, it is really the whole gamut, but I would say, yeah, there's definitely pit in the stomach. There's a lot of tension in their neck.
Yeah.
There's also just sort of that, and I see it. I actually see it in my sessions. Sometimes the clients sort of, the beginning, as we get going, they're kind of like more protective, sort of like more introverted.
Yes.
And then they kind of like open up and sit more upright, or sort of like, it's fascinating.
It is fascinating, right? It's the body really communicating before the mind even has an opportunity to get in there. I love what you just did, because I talk a lot about how the gestures that I notice in the people that I work with, when they feel the self-doubt or question or whatever insecurity, the gestures really shrink and contract.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're doing. And when they feel confident, alive, joyful, the gestures expand however they are. I mean, there's a million versions and every gesture is so beautiful. So that's a real indication, I feel, like what you're saying and what I'm saying. And for people listening, like, to pay attention, right? When our bodies have those kinds of gestures, that's information for us to really pay attention to.
Yeah, I notice, and I love what you're saying, because for myself, and I was working with another person some time ago, And she noticed that every time I was talking about sort of situations where I felt exposed, I
Yeah.
will like naturally sort of do this.
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, "What's that?" I noticed that you do that.
Wow.
And I was like, "That's a great question. I don't know."
Exactly. Yes.
But to your point, like just for the audience, sort of like pay attention and see, maybe things that you might do that you might find yourself doing
Right.
naturally they have a lot to do with how you're feeling in that moment, for sure.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, it is 30 minutes. I can't believe it. I could talk to you forever. I mean, there's so much. Maybe you'll come back sometime.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, I love talking to you and hearing your perspective on alignment and embodiment and your own story. And thank you for sharing.
Well, I also want to welcome. I don't have a formal series of talks, but I definitely do them. So you're also very invited to come.
Oh, good.
Community, and I do an hour because I know I love talking.
That's so funny. I love that. I know 30 minutes short, but it's all right for now. Tell us where people can find you if they want to connect with you.
People can find me on Instagram at peakbloom_coaching. I just noticed my spelling is wrong here, but peakbloom_coaching. That's the handle.
It is wrong. Yeah.
And or you can email me. I'm at Claudia@peakbloomcoaching.com.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you soon.
I love you, Jen. Thank you so much. And congrats on this book.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. End.